Okay, so we are live. I'm actually going to connect with my headphones so that I don't get the feedback. But yeah, you guys, don't be shy. Read the chat. I'm going to communicate with y'all in the chat. And who wants to go first? Who wants to come up and let me know how you found out about Fanbase? And as I said in the chat, give your Fanbase story. Like, what brings you here? Um, what you plan on doing now that you're here? Are you just engaging or, networking? That's cool. Just wanting to meet new people. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm
I'm a
getting
TikTok
ready.
refugee.
Huh? What you say, Silver? Okay, there.
I'm a TikTok refugee.
Why do I still hear it inside of my headphones? Testing. Okay, now it's better. Now it's better. Okay, I got my headphones on. Hey, Hector, you want to come up? Um, I'm doing this live. I want to see how it's gonna work, and I want people to come up. Don't be shy, and just answer some questions according to the title. Anybody want to come up? Y'all scared? Don't be scared now. It ain't nothing to be scared about. Just a few questions. I'm gonna get the link to the YouTube. I want to see if it's echoing because that's one of my broadcasting dilemmas on Fanbase. Oops, y'all hear that? Maybe not. Okay, so I'm on Meta. I'm on YouTube, and I decided to go on X. So we're gonna see what this sounds like. So I'm gonna grab the link from YouTube as soon as I get it, and then I'm going to put it in the watch party and see what works. And that's how we're gonna get started today in onboarding. I am here Monday through Friday, 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. Central. Okay, I grabbed the link, and now I'm about to add it to the watch party in a second here. Let's see what goes. Let's see what happens. Okay, so I got the link, and let's see what it looks like. This is how the web view is too. Y'all hear this on the web. Okay, so let me grab it. All right, so it said it popped up, but where's the link? This is so entertaining. Hector, you don't want to come up? Not Hector, but Hector. They got a Hector and a Hector. How y'all expect me to keep it all straight in my
Hello,
head?
good
Hey, I'm
afternoon.
about to put.
What are you trying to do? What?
Uh,
What are you?
there we go. Okay. So it looks like that is the audio room on the web. The link is in. Yep, they got a meeting today. That is correct.
6 p.m. Eastern, right?
I believe so. And it's 5 p.m. my time, Central. We are live, Hecton. Can you see the link at the top? That is actually
Think,
the
yeah.
onboarding room, the one that we're on right now. So, Hecton, now that you're on here, tell
Yep.
me, how did you find out about Fanbase?
I saw an ad on Facebook.
Oh, okay. So who told you on Facebook? Did you see an ad or anything, or
Right,
was
I
there
saw a
somebody?
Facebook ad about it.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you remember what the ad was?
No, I don't remember what the ad was.
Okay, interesting. Well, that's good to know. We always want to know how people find out about Fanbase because they're starting to get to a point where the people that are sharing are really people that are caring. So those that have been sharing Fanbase and getting it out there, I want to shout those people out and support those people that are, I call that boots on digital ground. They boots on digital ground.
Mhm.
But so how long have you been on Fanbase?
Since last June or July.
Okay, so you've been on here for almost a year. Your anniversary is coming up. Ooh, interesting.
No, this is just February. I've been on here since this past
I thought you said July.
June
So not July of last, so June of last year, right?
2024. Yeah.
Okay, so you'll be coming up with a year in
Mhm.
June.
Yep.
Yeah, you'll be coming up with your anniversary this year.
Mhm.
Okay, your 1 year anniversary. My, how that time goes.
Yep.
I
It's gonna
remember
come
when you
and
came.
go.
Yeah, I remember when you came on fan base. Um, did you
And then
remember
I think,
going to an?
yeah. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna ask you. Do you remember going to an onboarding room when you came on to fan base?
I don't. I think it was a
You don't have.
month. I think it was in August. I discovered the onboarding room. I think
Okay,
you.
so
I
you.
think it was with it was you and other people and V and Miss V.
Right, you do. You do. You remember when V actually helped you with the project you was
And you
working
were talking
on. You was.
about that Chatter app too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Yep.
was that's 2 months later. I think that was in August when I signed up for that Chatter app. Yep.
Sure enough. Sure enough.
Mm-hmm.
So these social audios are making waves. I think it's a real time engagement that's really getting people connected.
Yep.
But
Okay.
one other question I want to ask you is, what's your favorite social audio app? You can say it. It's okay if it's not fan based.
No,
Isaac
I
already
I
said
like
it.
I like both Fanbase and Chatter.
You don't have a
I like
favorite.
no, I don't have a favorite. No.
Oh, okay. Hey, Ashley, we are streaming live. If you could read um,
Hey
any
Ashley.
information that you can in the chat. Um, we're actually doing a live recording right now, interviewing the new users. Hecton isn't really a new user, but he's here to kind of support me while the people
Yes.
come in.
What is your favorite
So,
social app? I guess it's Fanbase because I haven't seen you on Chatter lately.
you know what's so interesting? I
Yeah.
was on Chatter. I actually had a room showcasing Go Brunch, and
When?
that went pretty cool. You can actually go on your profiles and see when the last rooms are open. You know that, right? But
Yeah,
that's a whole
yeah,
nother
yeah.
discussion. But yeah, you can definitely check that out. Offhand, I don't remember the
I don't
date,
know
but it
that's
was
gonna. I don't know if we're gonna get that features with the new update coming because there's a big update that's coming. So
I got you.
we're
But
not
we'll
gonna have
say
no channels. It's gonna be group instead of channels over there.
okay, but we'll talk about that later. Right now, we're kind of focused on
Oh, okay.
how did we hear about fan base. So
Fanbase, yeah.
Ashley, how you doing? If you're new to fan base and you want to be streamed live on Meta, YouTube, and I'm actually on X today. I decided to give X a go. If you want to come up, let us know how you found out about fan base and give us your fan base story. We can actually check out this link. I put the link in the chat so that YouTube link, the one right above, is the one that's in the chat, the one that we have at the top. Okay, I see you now. Let me bring you up. I think. Hey, Ashley,
Hey y'all.
how's it going?
Good, how y'all doing?
I am doing great. I'm actually here because I don't know how much you heard, but I'm actually conducting interviews today just about um, people, how they found out about Fanbase,
Um,
just general
I'm still
questions, trying to
still
get the
figuring the
vibe of the
app.
new people that's been coming
But
on to
I
Fanbase,
had someone
see
show me
what
like,
they're looking for
the
in a
basics
social
of it,
audio
and
app and
I came over here
how we can
when
help you be you
I'm
without
not really on
limits.
TikTok that much, but when they were about to shut it down, I was like, okay, let me come on over and see what it's
Let me
about.
see. I'm having a hard time hearing.
Let me
Let me
see.
see. I
I
heard
wonder
you
if
at
it's still
first, but
on.
now I'm not hearing anything. Let me try. Oh, wait a minute. It will help.
Let me disconnect from this.
Hold on a second. It was my audio. Okay. I'm
You can
sorry.
hear me?
Okay. I think I can hear you now.
Okay. I'm just getting a feel for the app. So far so good. I've been in a few rooms and just trying to get a feel for it. But like I said, I had someone show me like the basics of it, how it works and stuff like that. So it's been pretty cool so far.
Oh, that's good. So let me ask you, how long have you been on Fanbase?
Not that long really. I want to say 2 weeks maybe.
Okay. Okay. Do you have any rooms that you actually go in on a regular that you found on Fanbase, or
Oh
there's not
yeah, I
any
have
specific?
2 rooms. Well, one room I go there on a regular basis. They don't stop. They just it's 24/7. You could just go in, go out, go in, go out. So uh,
Right, right.
I do that one, and there's another one I just started listening to today. Like for instance, we gave like song suggestions. We're just vibing out. I was at work, so they play like old school music, and we're just vibing. So just little stuff like that.
Okay, so I'm looking on your profile. How much do you know? Have you been in any onboarding rooms, or is this kind of your first one?
This is my first one, I think.
Okay, well, I'm glad you came through. What made you come through? Was it the title, or you
Yeah, it
just
was a
happened to?
title.
Okay. Well, I am doing, as I mentioned, live interviews. I'll put the link to the room in the chat. I'm trying out this streaming to see how it's going to work for like my onboarding for people that
Mhm.
are coming in. It kind of gives me an idea of the expectations on
Mhm.
Fanbase. And if I think I mentioned it earlier, if it's going to be used for just a social app,
Mhm.
or if you have like a business that you want to promote, you know what I mean? Just kind of
Yeah.
set the environment and the tone for for your onboarding experience. So that's kind of why I decided to go this route as far as onboarding. Did you have any
Okay.
questions?
Um, not yet. Um,
Okay.
I
Oh,
guess I saw the title. I'm like, let me see. Because there's always something to learn with this app, and so.
right, right. I got you. Well, it does look like you are part of some camps. You've joined a few camps.
Mhm.
Definitely go ahead and join mine. That way you'll get a notification every time that I open a room.
Mhm.
And my hours are Monday through Friday from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. I do 2 hours, and then that's pretty much it. I usually try and do some video, a tutorial of some kind, so
Mhm.
people get to understand, like the verticals on Fanbase and all of those things. So, and then if there's any questions or anything like that that I can answer,
All right.
I take that
So
time out.
I'm trying to see. So I'm just adding you directly, right? Because it's how with
And I,
certain things would be like join camp, so this would be different from that.
it doesn't say join camp at the top.
Wait, hold on.
So
Maybe I'm
that,
tripping. Hold on. It's me. It's
okay.
me. I got you.
Yeah, sometimes it may be a little glitchy at first, and like refresh your screen sometimes will help. Because a lot of times people say the audio, um, when you put the watch party in, it'll do the same as well. So
Mhm.
yeah, we got quite a bit. So I think I didn't ask you what app did you use before. I might have missed that.
Um. So I have TikTok. I have Instagram, but I'm not a social media person. Like I'll go on there maybe once a day, maybe. Sometimes I do like a
Hmm.
social media detox because social media these days is so like it's a lot of negative and toxic. So I try to like stay away from that. But I have all of them except for X or Twitter.
I got you. That makes sense. Yeah. Since I've become a fan ambassador, I noticed that I'm kind of trying to align myself with fan base and where they are in the social.
Mhm.
So they're not too much. I don't see them too much on Meta, but I do see them on X and I see them on LinkedIn. So I usually
Mhm.
try to reach out to people on LinkedIn and X since that's where their fan base usually is. And they do a pretty good job of posting content on there
Mhm.
that you can share and like. So I definitely try to do that just to get the word out. I do see Nicole at the bottom. I did put in the chat, Nicole, that we are doing live interviews here on Fanbase to see where new users are, meet the new users, find out, set the expectation for what you want in a social audio. If you want to come up, you're welcome. Otherwise, you can just put information in the chat as to how you found out about Fanbase, as the title says, and any Fanbase story that you want to share, like what makes Fanbase different than the other ones. But I agree with you, Ashley. I agree that social media can be a little overwhelming and it also can be toxic.
Mhm.
So that's kind of why I opened this room too, is because I want to kind of be on the outside of the normal. I don't want to come on here unless it's intentional. I've
Right.
decided to be intentional about coming on these spaces since I do have a business. I want to make sure that my personal brand kind of aligns with my business too.
Mhm.
And so there is a personal side of things when it comes to your business. People can really choose not to conduct business with you just because of how you show up on these social sites. So I just want to be mindful. Oh, Nicole, tutorial direction. Great, because at the top, I always like to put those things at the beginning. So right underneath the onboarding, be you without limits, those links are how to ways to make money on Fanbase, but they also give you information on learning Fanbase, the verticals, So if you click on it, it'll take you to the web version. And those tutorials, there's a lot of them, probably maybe over 30, but they're 2-minute videos, and they'll have a description of what they are. Like some will say how to import your content from TikTok. There's one that will say um, how to make money on Fanbase. And you'll kind of see the categories that are outlined and pick which one that fits your need. And if you have any questions, definitely you can reach out. If you want me to do one-on-one information, like deeper dives into Fanbase and how you can be you without limits, you can definitely send me a message in my back channel. They call that the airplane. And I also have a Memoirs community, which is like a Zoom community, but it's a virtual experience where we can have one-on-one conversations about like what you're looking for on Fanbase. There is also a podcaster extraordinaire by the name of Danny Marie, and you'll see her around. And she specializes in pretty similar to what I do. And she's doing podcasts and interviews and showing people some different tips and tricks on how to fan base, period. So that is some feedback for you. Hey, Miss Rev. Um, the link to this live is in the chat. It's YouTube, and it's the last YouTube link that I put in there. You're welcome. You're welcome, Nicole. And welcome to Fanbase. I'm glad you're here. Thank you so much. I wish you the best as well. And Arizona. You want one? We got noise in our background, but it's a live experience, you guys. I got my dog outside. She's acting funny, you guys. She wants to go for a walk, and it's been really cold here, right? It's been freezing cold. And now the sun is shining, and she keeps looking at me like, and she be even trying to bite me too. She like, come on, we gonna go. We're gonna go in another hour, but she's ready now. Right? She's rushing me and telling me that I need to go now. So come in here, Q. What did you say? Okay. Okay. See you later. See you later too. Have a good one. Hey, Tasha. You guys, we live. We're interviewing new users. If you want to come up, let us know by the title how you heard about Fanbase. I would love to hear it. The link is, as I had mentioned earlier, in the chat. So grab the YouTube link and oh, okay, I see you're in a meeting. Okay, sounds good. You have a great day. Yeah, you guys, Tasha, you want to come up? Sugar Bear. Who wants to come up and tell their story? I appreciate Ashley for coming up here and letting me know. Hecton told his story. So I can tell my story too while you guys are multitasking, because that's what I do a lot too. But I came to Fanbase the end of November of 2022. And I was banned from Meta because I was sharing too much sensitive content. And we know what sensitive means to them. But anyway, so I was on YouTube and I heard about Earn Your Leisure. So Isaac was on there. And Isaac was talking about this fan base and this social audio. And I was like, wow, it was kind of similar to Clubhouse, because I had been on Clubhouse. So I decided to come on here, opened up a meet and greet room, got a chance to engage and network with people, because that's what I love doing anyway. And here I am. I still go to all the other social sites, of course, because that's where Fanbase is. But Fanbase is my home base. So this is kind of where I spend most of my time, most of my hours. I'm not going to tell you how many hours I used to put on Fanbase. I used to put, like, we even stayed on overnight on these apps. You know what I'm saying? It's like we get to talking, everybody chimes in, and don't let it be a big room, because then everybody's kind of chiming in, and the next thing you know, 4 or 5 hours later, you done fell asleep. But it's been a fun ride. I was on Clubhouse. I was on Clubhouse during the pandemic. That was a good time during the pandemic because there was a lot of stuff going on, and we kind of connected and felt like we could unite with each other in a social space. So Clubhouse did what it did, but Fanbase has the content, and I love content. I'm getting like taking deeper dives into AI and imagery and stuff, so I feel like we're in a good space to do that, and that's kind of why I'm here. I want to be able to post whatever I want to post and not feel like it's not going to get any exposure because it's not what they want to see. So that's me. That's why I'm here. And I'm looking forward to seeing you guys see what you want to do with Fanbase. I'm looking forward to it. I hope you guys be here. I hope you guys stick around. I hope you don't have or let a bad experience or a bad room, keep you from coming back. Sometimes we just have to be the change that we want to see. And as long as we're that change that we want to, then we can't worry about what that person's doing, because everyone has to find that within themselves, because it starts within. It always starts within. Oh, okay, you're on your way. Okay, out the door. You're welcome, Tasha. Let me see. I didn't get a chance to follow you. I'm gonna go ahead and follow you so that I'll have you in my notifications. And join the camp if you haven't, and that way, I'm here Monday through Friday, the same time every day. And so you always welcome to come in, chat, ask questions. I want to be like a open door to where even if you have an issue, now that I've taken the role of a fan ambassador, I'm definitely going to make sure that when you do have issues that they get addressed. You know what I mean? It's one thing to censor you like what Zuckerberg does and put you in Facebook jail. But there's also such thing as we're all grown. We're grown folks, we're all grown. We know right from wrong. And disrespect is disrespect. We all know what that means. Disrespect is going to be disrespect to different people differently, but it's still disrespect. Maybe it's okay for you to curse and say all these things, but you never know. Somebody else may not curse. So to them, that's disrespectful. So disrespect is disrespect. Treat people the way that you want them to treat you. And usually that tends to work. If you want people to treat you a certain way, you have to be that person to do the same. It has to be reflected, it has to be reciprocated. So that's how I feel. And social audio is always going to be a challenge because you have people that are audio actors that just come on and they want to just they just want to enjoy themselves and have fun, laugh at the expense of others. And you start to see those
The
people.
entertainment.
Huh?
They want to be on here for the entertainment.
Exactly. And that's okay. Those people that want to be on here for the entertainment, there's a lane. Isaac says there's a lane for all people, right? And he did say attention, information. What was the other one? Entertainment, information, attention, and conflict. Those were the 4 things that will equal virality. So if you can stay on top of those, then you get that attention that you need. And so right now, since Fanbase is, most people still don't know about it, Isaac is kind of looking at all 4 things. So if you're bringing entertainment, he definitely wants you. If you're bringing attention in some type of way, that could go with conflict, because conflict can be definitely a attention goer. How many people will fill up in a room that's got 200 people, and then you get in there and it's conflict? But that's kind of the trend. It's conflict does sell, and we know that. We understand that. So there's nothing wrong with it. It's still, no matter in the midst of conflict, you can still see something better in it too. Because I've gone in some really controversial rooms, and I came out like feeling like, enlightened, because I actually learned something about certain individuals. I'm like, oh, that explains it. So if I never went in that room, I would have never understood that individual. Because sometimes people show up differently in different rooms. If you haven't noticed that, it is true. Some people, they'll show up in their suit and tie when they go into a finance room. And then when they want to let their hair down, they'll change their PTR. Or, they'll show up the way they show up. So that's nothing wrong with that. But you get to see those people and who they are, and then you can make your decisions on how you move forward with them. Because I know I used to, like my mom, it was so interesting. Whenever she got on a phone call, she would always change her voice. And I'd be like, Mom, why do you have to change your voice whenever you get on a phone call? I thought it was the weirdest thing. I'm like, why don't you just talk normal like you talk when you talk with us? But then as I start to work in corporate America and have these customer service, help desk, all these different type of jobs, I start to see that they try to do those things and have those employees act a certain way when they get on the phone. So then it becomes so much of a habit that you find yourself doing that even, when you're not on work or you're not, on the clock. So I get it. Because now I know, because I used to do help desk and customer service for like over 30 years. And so what it has taught me is the fact that, man, you definitely got a code switch on your calls. And I used to be like, dang, I don't want a code switch. I don't want to be different. But then the job required certain dialect, like words that you had to say. You know what I'm saying? So then you found yourself like, man, so this would corporate is is a culprit of why people feel like they have to code switch sometimes. They have a whole script that they want you to say. You know what I mean? Like, may I, and all of these things that you probably never say. May I? When the last time you heard anybody say may I? You know what I'm saying? When the last time you heard
Unless
someone say
unless
may I?
unless I'm calling a business for customer service.
So you say it when you're, like we just said, when we're on the phone. You prove the point. Talking on the phone, but they don't do it in social audio though. When's the last time
Or
you
in
heard them say
person,
may I?
never.
Huh?
Never.
I haven't either. That's a good thing to test out. Now
Or
we know
unless
they have the
unless we
huh?
are at a professional setting.
And see, that's crazy. So so proper language is only in when you're in a professional setting. Is that correct?
I don't
I'm just asking because you
I don't know.
said.
I don't know, but I'm just saying that that's the only time when I hear is when we're in a professional setting, or something, you know. May I? That's the thing about it too.
Yeah. So what about you, Ashley? Have you heard someone say may I recently, like in the auto room?
I wonder why that is though.
Uh, mm-mm.
What about please? Because you would think may I please would go together.
I know sometimes I talk like that, but that's because it's the way I was raised. So, it's kind of like still in me to, yes, ma'am, no, sir, may I please, stuff like that. Because I'm from the island, so, they don't play that.
Oh, okay. I
Yes.
get you. So that makes sense. There we go. So you think it's a culture thing too?
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, because I'm in the redneck town of Nebraska. So we already know I'm corporate and I was in the bank environment. So we already know what time it is. I worked at the bank for like, I'll say maybe 15 years at the bank. And that was one of the things that they would always push is that professionalism at all times. Matter of fact, even when I went on some of their, like I went on some of they have like employee events or whatever. And so they was usually always like the same way. I mean, of course, they was a little more twisted and drinking and stuff, but they didn't really act any different than they did when they were at the job, minus the cursing, because they did cuss. You know what I'm saying? But some reason people that kind of look like us think that they have to turn it on and off when they get around certain people, or when they feel like one environment is more professional than the other, and then they'll switch over to that maybe may I please and all that. Maybe.
Yeah, that's true. I
Not
noticed
sure.
that a lot.
Hmm.
I totally agree with that. I noticed that we feel like we have to adapt to
Right.
to what's
So
going
it's almost
on.
right to adapt to your environment, because that's kind of why I made the reference to like my job, because I'm not sure, and this is to be honest, working at the bank, and I was usually always the only Black person in most of my departments. So I would say if someone came in and they had like a different type of dialect, like I'm trying to think, especially like given where I live, again, I'm in Nebraska and I'm in Trump territory, and I have been. But with everything being said, I think that if someone came in with a different type of dialect, even Southern, they probably wouldn't have got hired. And that's kind of messed up, but that's the way it's been. I've seen it. I've seen people that have gotten or had interviews at the bank, right? And they didn't get it, right? They had all the qualifications, everything, but they still didn't get that job. And we all know why. You know what I mean? We all knew why they didn't get the job. Every single employee that saw that person knew why, but no one ever said anything because
Is
they
it
were just
because the way they
fortunate enough.
talk?
Huh?
Why? What is the reason? Is it the way they talk?
I'm sure it's a combination of things, the way they talk, the way they dressed, and perhaps the way they answered the questions, because they were biased on how they wanted you to answer the questions. Matter of fact, you had to do this. I remember in interview, there was this star, it's called the star. I don't know if you guys have heard of that. It's
No.
called the star interview process. And a lot of corporate jobs use it. So it's the situation, the task, the the action, and the result. So anytime that you were interviewed, you have to use that star process when answering your question. And if you didn't use the star, that's how they could filter you out and not hire you. No one's heard of that?
No, never heard of it.
Well, I worked in, like, I had a position, so maybe it wouldn't have been something that would have been told to people, which was another deception. Because if you don't tell a person how you want them to respond to the interview, I don't think that's setting them up to have a very good interview. What do you think? If you don't tell your potential candidates that they want you to answer this way, but then you grade them according to it, man, That expectation seems kind of messed up. But yeah, so there were a lot of companies that did that, right? So one good thing is I knew companies that used it. So because I knew, I was like, that's how I'm going to always do when it comes to being interviewed, because now I know what tricks that they actually use to filter people out. And I will say this, on the good thing is, most of my experiences getting hired was always good. I always got the job, but it was always, I was underpaid. You know what I mean? It was like I wasn't getting what I know that I went to school for or that I had the experience for, both. So I would always have to take less pay for the other people's, you know what I mean? But I still had the position. So now going back to this whole DEI thing, I'm retired. So I've been retired like for 2 years now. And so I just retired early because I was like, I'm getting out of this rat race. I started me an LLC and getting back into my merchant services, which is pretty much banking. Everything I learned about the bank, it just makes sense that I'd want to go out there and do something different on my own. But the beauty of it is there's so many people that are realizing that they don't have to work for corporate America anymore. You know, now there's so much opportunity for people to branch out and be their own boss. And so I love seeing that. And another thing is, like, even the job service here is a joke. And then on top of that, when it comes to how you actually are going to sustain those jobs, like, you can get a job just to get off the job service list, but it's not going to be a job that you can actually see yourself getting promoted from. It's usually just something to keep those numbers, like, hey, you know, they got to keep the numbers down when it comes to unemployment. And it's just kind of sad the way things are, but you start to see it over time and you be like, is this what I really want? Do I want to deal with this? Or do I want to try and do something different? Because I see where it's headed. And just like all the years that I've been working, and then to see this is the end point of how, I remember when they had affirmative action and they were talking about, you know, that and how it's a tax write-off and your tax whatever deduction for corporations to have people that were people of color, melanated people, right? And so to see that actually be changed to DEI and now this happening, man, I just feel bad for some people that haven't been around to see what's happened though, you know. If you're young, you won't, like, I have a granddaughter and you know, I hope she sees the opportunity that she has with her business and realize it's a good thing to have an LLC right now. It's a good thing to have one, and then it's also a good thing to use it as leverage. And they have so many great rooms on Fanbase talking about that too, you know, leveraging your LLC and kind of capitalizing on what's going on right now. But hey, LaShonda, I was in here rambling. I was actually interviewing Hex and hi Alice. You've been here a minute. I've been interviewing them here on onboarding just to find out the expectations of people on Fanbase. And when you come to Fanbase, what are you looking for? Is it like you're running away from, you know, like another social audio? Or did you hear maybe what's going on with DEI and all of that, you know? But anyway, that's kind of why I wanted to kind of interview and see where people are. I don't know if y'all are in the corporate spaces, Ashley, if you work for corporate or have that kind of job. I'm not sure what you do. Did you want to speak about that or no? Hey, Sean. What's going on?
I am in retail.
Oh, girl.
It is not for the weak.
Ooh, you know what is so
A
funny
lot
that
of
you
nasty
mentioned?
customers.
Yes, child. They get worse and worse.
But that's the thing, though, ain't it? It's like retail is one of those things where you definitely have to code switch. You definitely can't act and show up the way that you would because they be trying you though. The customers, and see, I could never do face to face, right? I just my expressions. I would probably get fired because
that's
they wouldn't. My expressions tell the whole story, and I hate it because I can't change my expression. It's like
that's how I am. Everything is on my face. I don't sugarcoat it. I don't.
right. So it's like, but now you want me to code switch and try to keep a straight face?
Yeah, it's hard when someone
That's
is
I'm not.
disrespecting you, and it's like, oh, hold on now.
Yeah, I remember when I was doing tech support and this guy, we know what he is. He's not like us. Let's put it that way. So we were on I was doing TurboTax at the time. So I was doing a work from home project, and this guy, sometimes they can tell when they're talking to you, they start to guess what nationality because it starts coming out. And soon as he kind of realized that he was doing and made a mistake, he tried to attack me. He was trying to blame me like I'm made him feel a type of way because he didn't know something. And I'm like, is that all he got out of it? He ashamed because he did something stupid that he shouldn't have done. He didn't read, which is a lot of people's issues, but he on himself, he didn't read. So it ended up costing him. He was supposed to install a certain software and he installed the wrong one for his operating system. That's his fault. He didn't read. And so then he wondering why the installation wasn't working with this account, and he having all these other that he thought was technical issues, you know? So it's people like that they still wanted to blame you though. He the one made the mistake, but he trying to say that I made him feel a type of way. Don't be in your feelings because I told you something, you know? Just accept the fact that you made a mistake, you did something wrong. Nobody's perfect. And I called you and let you know what you did so you won't do it again. So it's evidently all it takes is to put your readers on and read, you know?
That's it. And a lot of these retail, places, I blame them because it's always, oh, the customer is always right, and this is why they act the way they do. Because no, the customer is not always right, and it doesn't give you a right to, disrespect somebody like you. There's no patience when it comes to customers. They could be young, and the older people are. It's getting worse with them because I'm like, oh my god, y'all supposed to be the most patient ones, and they're acting crazy too. So it's like no age limit. Usually it's like, the older folks, they're more patient, and not over here. I'll cuss you out in a minute.
That's the thing. Okay, so when we do customer service on the phone, they said there's certain levels of things that you can do, you know what I mean? Or you have the right to hang up on the customer. And they always want to try you so close to that point. It's almost like they know what to do to keep you on the phone, but then they don't go past that. But it's still so annoying that you wish they would hurry up and cross the line so you could hang up on them. You know what I mean? Because I had this one customer, she was trying to be so intimidating, right? She was trying to, she knew I'm supposed to be, I'm supposed to be serving her and all of that. But she kept asking the same question over and over again, right? And so then I was trying to explain to her, I don't know how many different ways that I can explain this to you. And then she got upset because she thought I was saying she was dumb. And I'm like, And so she made a big deal about me saying, you know, and it just got all out of control. She reported me. I ended up getting demoted because of her. That's crazy. And then they're going to say they listened to the recording. They said, well, you were kind of condescending. I probably was, but okay, so she can do whatever she wants to do. She can, do all of these other things, but that's okay. So that's why I said you really have to have thick skin working. And man, I feel for people that do customer service. I do. That's some hard work. Then face to face too.
Yeah, it got
No,
bad.
yeah, that was a bad experience. And then now I have other people that are in retail and they're telling me like their experiences. I'm like, dang. And customers are now, they like you just said, they're always right. And then you know how they give you those reviews. I had a job that did the same thing, and all of us employees, we were so annoyed. They started adding the reviews to be part of like your, you know how at the end of the year you get like a performance review or whatever it's called. And so they added that to it. So that was like, okay, as if we now already working hard enough, working overtime, doing all these other things. So now you're gonna put a performance review and add the customer survey as part of that. So if the customer survey says they don't like your tone or the way or your response, that you can get, you know, your salary can be lower because of it, or you may not get as much because of it. Isn't that crazy? Because a customer can just not like you, and then you mean to tell me now because the customer reported you and said XYZ, that's going to impact your performance appraisal or performance review? That don't even sound right
Yeah, that's
when I
the
look at
tricky
it.
part. It's like this one human could determine basically if I I could keep my job or not, and that's too much power.
That's way too much. So I'm talking about how it was when I was in corporate, which was like 4 years ago. So much has even changed since I've been in the, like retail and all of that stuff. So I can't even imagine what people are going through with their jobs now. I mean, I would love to be able to have people come in and talk about what's happening with them since all of this stuff is going on, because the people that did those types of jobs, they already had it bad. Retail was bad anyway. Like working in these restaurants, the people that are all of those, the service workers, the actual true service workers, they probably really get in like, I'm I'm just feeling for people. So people, I think they should come to Fanbase, come on Fanbase and tell me your story about what's going on with this retail stuff and just corporate even. Is anybody even bold enough to want to talk about it? People are probably too fearful to even talk about it. Hey Dre, welcome.
Hey,
And we're actually live. I got the link at the top, and then I put the link to this live stream um, in the chat too. But we were just having conversation. Yeah, you should watch the video later. I think we've been doing it how long? You've been in here probably a little over an hour. So it's a little over an hour worth of footage. So this is my first time doing the stream. I mean, I've done like pre-recorded rooms where I've interviewed, but I'm anxious to see how this is going to work out, because fan base, you got to do workarounds, which is cool. I like a challenge. So I had to do a workaround to get the audio part. So that it's good we have the web, because that helped with the audio. Um, but hey, you guys, Dre, what's going on with you? We are interviewing. You're not shy. You can't possibly be shy in your field of work. Thank you very much. So you are live, Dre. You are live on X. You are on Meta, and you are on YouTube. I skipped LinkedIn this time because, LinkedIn is really professional. And so if I do LinkedIn, I'm going to do it with something different. Like, this is just interview stuff. LinkedIn they ain't interested in this. YouTube and Meta, they interested in X. Yeah, this is we talking to that crowd right now. You know what I'm saying? That's all. So Dre, talk to me. This is gonna be like after Dre. Did you want to go on after Dre Silver, and then we're gonna wrap it up because we got like 15 minutes left of this interview. I appreciate you, Ashley. You did really well. You did good. We'll be
Thank
doing
you.
more of these. Yeah, I appreciate you for coming, Hecton. I totally appreciate you for coming through in
You're welcome.
this live interview and keeping me company because we're
I am
streaming.
glad
So,
and blessed that I don't have a job right now, and I haven't
you
worked
what?
since I graduated high school.
Oh, okay. So you didn't get the stress. That's what's up. Say that again.
Yep. I said I'm
That
so
is beautiful.
glad and blessed that I have not worked since high school.
Yes. Do y'all hear that? Yes.
Social
That's amazing.
Security.
Huh?
I said I'm on Social Security.
And my dad was too. And let me tell you, man, let me just tell you something. He was 100%, because he was in the VA. So he was in the military, and he was in
Oh, so he got
the
VA benefits?
yeah, he was in the Vietnam War. And so he had, so with that he got the 100%. And that money that he got, let me tell y'all something. Whoo, Lordy. I'm just gonna say that. So they do provide for
Sounds
their
like it's a lot of money too.
they provide for their people. Even though people complain about it, they did treat him well, though. I will say that they will treat you well. So that tells me that if you're good and if you're good inside, you're going to get rewarded for that. So, you know, you are. And so that's how I see it. They treated him well. That was pretty cool.
I'm about to do some live behind the scenes of them practicing the show.
Ooh, what show?
The underground musical here in the Hamptons. They're doing
Oh,
it.
I
Oh, I
think I
think I
did
did
see
see
that
that
on the
on the
post
post
on
on
LinkedIn. You're
LinkedIn. You're
right.
right. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
That's
That's
a
a
plus.
plus.
We're
We're
going to
gonna
look
look
forward to
forward to
that.
that. Yeah,
We're
I've
going to
been
look
doing
forward
it.
to that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. They're having fun.
Okay,
Okay,
this
the
is Silver Fox
Silverbox
Luxury
Luxury
speaking
speaking
here
here
on
on
Fanbase.
Fanbase.
You're
You're
about to
about to
hit
hit
10K
10K
followers.
followers.
Look
Look
at
at
him.
him. 10,000.
Ooh,
I'm gonna
you're
throw a
about to
party.
hit
I'm gonna throw a
10K.
party. You got a party.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you know
you know
what?
what?
So how
So
about
how about
100
100
folks
folks
come to
come to
Fanbase,
Fanbase,
follow
follow
Silver,
Silver,
so that
so
we
that
can
we can
have the
have the
best
best
10K
10K
party
party
ever.
ever. Mm-hmm.
That's what I
That's
think.
what I think.
That's what I
That's
think.
what I think. Yeah, but a 10K party.
And
Why not?
the Go
The
Brunch
Go Brunch
community,
community,
where you'll be
where
a
you'll be a
virtual
virtual
reality.
reality.
We're gonna have
We're
some
gonna have some
fun,
fun,
y'all.
y'all. Yeah,
But
but
I'm looking
I'm
forward
looking.
to what Fanbase has. I'm excited. Dre did step out. He didn't want to talk about what he did. I understand, Dre. We're gonna get you next time. But okay, you guys, this has been fun. He stepped out. Did you see his profile, Ashley? I be teasing him about it. Every time I look on his profile, I crack up. But Dre is cool. But I appreciate y'all for coming to Onboarding, Be You Without Limits. We have about 15 minutes. I think I'm going to wrap it up a little early so that I can sign out of everything. And then I can check on this live, break it up into little clips, and see what's happening on Fanbase. What's going on in the hall? I don't know what rooms. I usually like to shout them out. Growth Mindset is pretty dope, with hosted by Don Rez. Then we have a crowdfunding to Wall Street, hosted by What else? Creating connection, co-working space, Exumite, Dr. Double Loading. Okay, okay, I see. Go Gang affiliates. Okay, maybe I'll jump into Influx Entrepreneur. That's a pretty good camp. 6 Fanbase growth tips. Grow, moderate. Oh, ooh. All my people are in there. Okay. So let me see. Democracy first. And the spiritual elevated gods, hosted by your one and only King Thoy Media. Okay. So he can't never say I didn't shout him out. I just did. All right, you guys. I'm gonna hit stop this live here. Let me go to the room so it doesn't echo. Okay, you guys. That was it. Thank you for joining in on another episode of Onboarding Be You Without Limits. This was a test run, trying to see how people on Fanbase was vibing with the interview. So it was pretty cool. Shout out to Ashley. Shout out to Hecton again. Shout out to Silver Fox. And the other people in the audience. Thanks for listening. Bye for now.